as you have to keep shuffling. Kind of like Bottle of Wishes. You just have to keep shuffling your deck. But it could also be good if cards get put back to the bottom of your deck. They could, with something like maybe Deep Mind Probe, which I believe he does not play, but it would shuffle whatever he put on bottom back in, so it's not on bottom anymore. Looks like Zach just plays a Nyx and passes. Aiden just bounces it back with a Rusalka and starts going in at shields. And Zach is like, okay, I'm scooping, I know that's game. Because Aiden would have just attacked with the Cyber Scam. Alright, so now it's Aiden 1, Zach 0. So while they're definitely randomizing their decks, let's talk about their deck lists. And I'll start with Zach Murphy since he's on the left. He's got 3 Infernus the Awakened, 3 Nyx, Dreadclaw, 2 Serpents, 2 Heretic Prince, a General Sky Crusher, 2 Umbra, 3 Stormspark, 3 Lux, 3 Terror Pit, 3 Bone Blades, 3 Piercing Judgment, 3 Bottle, 3 Herald of Infernus, 3 Lyra, 3 General Finbar, 3 Andromeda, and a Crimson Wyvern. Whereas Aiden has 1 Bottle of Wishes, 3 Cyber Sprite, 3 Cyber Scamp, 3 Cyber Trader, 3 Aqua Seneschal, 3 Rusalka, 3 General Finbar, 3 Freakus Test Subject, 3 Featherfin, 3 Grip of Despair, 3 Emperor Neuron, 3 Emperor Dendrite, 3 Bone Blades, 3 Terror Pit. So they're definitely each playing interesting lists. Blurple isn't as popular as it was before, so it's definitely something, unique for Aiden right now. And Zach's just playing a bottled out deck dragon variant. So he's got the 2 Serpents, which are great for when things are banished for shields, to get extra shields. And 1 Crimson Wyvern for the Eternal Haven matchup, as it might be a little tough for him. But going into the match right now, Aiden has an Emperor Neuron, which is probably one of the best cards in his deck, as it is unblockable, and every time it attacks, he draws a card. So he's broken 2 shields of Zach's so far. Zach does have 2 birds, though, so he's probably not in the worst position. He could have also gotten something good off of his shields, like that Lyra. So that keeps the Emperor Neuron tapped down. So it will not be able to attack this turn. Looks like he just plays another Neuron. So he can, of course, attack immediately with that new Neuron, but he hits a Bone Blades. Now, Emperor Neuron's probably drawback is that it's less than level 4, so it can be hit by that Bone Blades. At this time, both these players are 1-0. This is round 2 out of 5. There will be a top 8 cut after round 5. First place gets $400 cash. Second place gets $200 cash. Third and fourth get $100 cash. And fifth through eighth get $50 cash each, making a total of $1,000 being given out to players today. Looks like Aiden's board had been wiped by Zach, and Aiden plays General Finbar. General Finbar, I find, is a really fun card to play with. You can bounce something like Andromeda back to hand so that you're not affected by its all-strike ability, and you can keep attacking with other creatures and drawing a card. Basically turns all of your other creatures into Aqua Seneschals. Zach starts going in attacking for shields with Lyra. So I believe Aiden is down to 3 shields right now. Aiden's carefully considering his play as he is staring down 4 attackers now, one of them which happens to be a double breaker. Looks like he plays the Dendrite, bouncing the Herald, and attacks the last 2 shields. So definitely if Aiden has something good in his shields, he could win. But if he doesn't, Zach could be on the winning end. Ooh, looks like Zach has a Infernus the Awakened, which is a very powerful card. And he crashes Lyra into the Emperor Dendrite, leaving Aiden with no creatures. But it appears that Aiden had, looks like a Grip of Despair, bouncing Infernus the Awakened back to hand, and then Zach has to discard a card. He chose Lux. Definitely good, as he wants to keep that Infernus the Awakened. He plays an Umbra, which gives all his Dragon Slayer, and then the Infernus the Awakened. Each of those Firebirds he has are reducing the cost of his dragons to summon. So that Grip of Despair did put him back a turn, but only a turn. He could still win this. But if Aiden can manage to get an evolution creature and something good in his shields, he could win. It looks like he doesn't. So it looks like now this game is 1-1. Zach 1 win, Aiden 1 win. Still looks like there's no messages on Twitter. There are also no messages on Twitch.tv currently. But again, if you want your questions answered live, just message on twitch.tv, or you can tweet at Kerwin Game Store. These videos will also be uploaded at a later date to YouTube. Although this store does tend to be busy a lot, so it is hard to find time to get these videos up onto YouTube. Again, these players have both played at this store before and have been feature matched. They have, it was our Shattered Alliances set premiere tournament where we offered a decent amount of prize support. We're also doing a similar thing for Invasion Earth when that comes out. Looks like Aiden does probably the best thing for his mana, and he plays Grip of Despair. Unlocks both of his colors. Plus it's a level 5, so it's going to be a while until he can play that kind of a thing. He also puts Terror Pit into mana, and he's able to play a Cyber Scamp. Or no, that's not a Cyber Scamp, that's a Cyber Trader. So he draws a card, and then he discards a card. It gives him a better choice of options, as he can see a little farther into his deck by one card. He puts a Cyber Scamp into mana, and plays a Cyber Scamp. So it looks like if he has any more scamps, there will be one in deck or one in shields, as we now see where 2 of them are. Zach didn't get his turn 2 bird play, which is a bit unfortunate for him. And it looks like he doesn't get a turn 3 bird play either. So it looks like he's going a little behind now, and Aiden's free to just start attacking shields. It looks like Zach gets a bottle, which could potentially be devastating for Aiden. But we now have a Cyber Scamp ability about to be triggered. So Aiden will search through his deck and see if he has one more Cyber Scamp in there in order to play it for free. So Zach, he could get anything from his deck and play it for free. He could get something like Infernus the Awakened, banish one of Aiden's creatures, 4,000 or less, or he could get Andromeda, or that Bone Blades. So it looks like he chose to Bone Blades the Featherfin. Now Cyber Scamp goes off twice, once for Bottle, once for Bone Blades. Aiden searches his deck. The third Cyber Scamp was indeed in there, and as a ruling, you are allowed to cut the Cyber Scamps short. If it triggers multiple times, you only have to search once. Though, if Cyber Scamp is a mandatory effect, so you do have to search your deck each time, even if you know there are no Cyber Scamps. Good way for making sure your deck is randomized. Like Zach's definitely thinking of what kind of play he wants to make. He does have a lot of options in hand. I can't see what his hand is, but looks like he's tapping all 4 to Piercing Judgment. So Cyber Scamp's ability must trigger, so Aiden just shuffles his deck, knowing that there's no more Scamps in deck. Like he plays Freakish Test Subject, and he attacks with both of his other creatures, leaving Zach with 0 shields. looks like he scoops from there. Okay, so this match just ended, so we will have one or both of these players potentially down here to talk about how their match went. So we will be back in probably a minute or two.
Over some more. I don't have much room to move over. Alright. Well, someone just bottled. I can tell you.
Yes, it sounds like upstairs someone just bottled, as I can hear a lot of yelling and screaming. Oh my god! Must have been a good one. Probably Andromeda or something. Bottle into
doing that shit with McAfee. It's like, yo, buy us, and I'm like, no, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah. So, how did your match go?
It was a pretty close one. He got kind of screwed over in Game 3. His hand wasn't the greatest.
Yeah, that happens. I don't know, playing a deck, it's like a ramp deck in Magic, so sometimes you get all your ramp spells and all your bombs in the right order, and sometimes you don't. And Game 3 was one of the games where you don't.
Yeah, I noticed you didn't get the turn 2 bird, you didn't get the turn 3 bird.
Yeah.
So
I was
it's
pretty
usually
psyched about
downhill
that.
from there.
Yeah, it was tough. I had the turn 3 bird game 3, but just didn't have that blue source to go with it.
Yep.
I know that's
That
part
happens,
of
too.
yeah, that's part of the things. Is just try to find. I think with four colors, I mean it certainly is greedy, you know.
Hence Greed Dragons.
Yeah,
I like the 4 color variants a lot more than the 3.
yeah. Well, you know, the 4 color they're more bombier, but I think the 3 color, you know, they're not as powerful, but they seem a little bit more stable. I guess.
Yeah, they're a bit more consistent.
Yeah.
But if you're playing dragons, you're playing go big or go home.
Oh yeah,
The
exactly.
deck.
Yeah. You know, I was hoping to see maybe at least some of the cards that have been added since last season, like Serpents and stuff like that. But I really supposedly he's.
It was a double piercing judgment for a steal for the win. Shield blast.
Yeah,
That's
Double
sturdy.
piercing judgment shield blast for the win.
Steal for the win.
That seems
Steal,
pretty
Like
strong.
he was on board and lost.
That seems pretty strong.
That
fair.
can happen.
Yeah.
Variance.
Variance is good.
Variance be praised.
That's the motto.
Yeah. But I don't know. What was game 1? I mean, was that a slow start? How was that name?
No, you had the turn 2 bird and then the turn 3 bird. Oh, my
for you,
hand?
yeah.
My hand, I didn't have a play until turn 3, but I drew out of it. And then I
Yeah.
drew, like, I had to sit there and actually make decisions because I had the ability to play turn 4 Neuron with Cyber Sprite Neuron,
Yeah.
Osaka, or Boneblade, so I had to sit there and, like, make choices. But I kept drawing multi-sieves, so my mana drops were like, I had to make a
Yeah, you
decision
actually have to,
really
like,
carefully.
Actually, gotta think about stuff.
And I was like, oh man,
the
I just
worst.
turned my card sideways, I don't think.
The worst.
So how are you guys with your deck choices? Do you like picking the deck so far? I mean, it's only been 2 rounds, so it's hard to really judge at this point, but
Actually, your deck was one of the ones I was thinking of playing on the card right here.
I'm a big fan of this deck. It's really fun to play.
Yeah.
And most people don't even like consider it a threat. They just ignore it. But Tempo just like it plays deuce and keeps a hand.
Bounce things for days.
Yeah, and they keep no field and you just keep swinging and eventually they die.
I don't know. I like mine. I think against an open field like this, like there's going to be good players and not necessarily bad players, but you know maybe their decks aren't as tuned as they need to be. I think Dragons is pretty good because sometimes you just bottle into Herald, you know, or bottle into
Furnace.
into Furnace or
A big
Andromeda.
dragon,
Yeah.
yeah, when Dragon Strike and Furnace first came out, the first deck I was able to actually successfully utilize anything in was like American Dragons.
Yeah.
And I just, the first time I ever bottled, I bottled into Bottle, into Infernus the Awakened
Yeah.
against Mono Red.
But I think, I mean,
You win!
I
Yeah.
won!
I mean,
Turn 2! Thank you, Blaze Belcher.
yeah. I mean, all the games like I mean, the only time I actually played Bottle was game 3, right?
Yeah, game 3 I hit
And
the
then-
shields. I was worried about that too. I was
Didn't
like,
even-
oh no.
It wasn't even like it was a good bottle, but it wasn't.
It was a removal
It
spell,
wasn't
yeah.
the best bottle. I would have liked an Infernus.
Right? I was like,
Much
please
better.
not Infernus, please not Andromeda, please not Big Dragon.
Yeah, anything. But I mean, Homeblade's is all right. Just Scam, so strong.
Scamp is so brutal. I wish I didn't have like 2 in my hand because I dropped 1 for mana and you got 2 spells and I was like, this could have been the greatest play ever.
Yeah,
Yeah. Because that one Scamp triggered twice off the bottle.
yeah. Scam's so good.
It is.
I love Scamp. It also won me my round 1 on the game too. Just because I played it against, like it was against Turbo Haven, I was turn 2, Cyber Scamp, and they're like, oh, so if I play stuff I lose.
Yeah,
And I was
pretty
like,
much
sweet.
just stone cold, just cold to it. At least I don't know, they can bounce it with like Finbar and stuff like that. But
Yeah,
I mean, the like Haven decks really can't.
they can't answer it.
Yeah.
And if they do, it just comes back. They play Fog, but you just got to be smart about playing all the 1000s. I was actually worried about that in our game 3 because I had 4 1000 guys out.
I was actually,
like,
I was talking about that. You know, I think that'd be something interesting if Dragon gets. I mean, it's certainly popular, but if it gets more popular, I could certainly see Fog being an actual card in it. You know, for
It
the
kind
mirror.
of like kills the consistency though, because I mean for the mirror it's great, but then like you play against Haven, you're like, damn, I keep drawing this dead card.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, I don't know. I think maybe you cut like a Bone Blades for it instead. I mean, I don't know.
I don't
think
know, I'd
we can-
rather have Bone Blades.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, I guess it just seems if like Haven falls out of favor and everybody starts playing Dragon and you know.
Yeah, it's pretty meta heavy. You gotta call it. Make choices.
Draw for turn here on Twitch says, yay, Aiden.
Yeah. Man. I bet that's Rob. Yeah, we'll copy that.
It'll go up as the rounds start progressing.
Hopefully.
Just advertising Dojo.
Yeah, you guys have been doing that. I've been getting updates on my phone. Like, oh, so we post on
Dojo's a
Facebook.
good place to advertise.
Dojo. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, 1,500 members, people watch.
Switch to the like laser bars.
Laser bars.
You don't know? Yeah,
The
you know
laser
what I'm talking
bars, yeah, I can just add the laser bars.
No.
Oh no, we were trapped.
Okay.
I don't know. Game 2, I thought went well.
Yeah, I died. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
I thought I had it too, and then like,
No, I
it
just
didn't
kept,
work out.
I was drawing way too much gas.
I was
and
getting real worried too because I saw 2 birds out. Like it literally was turn 4. You had 2 birds out in 4 mana, and I was like, please don't Lyra my Neuron. You didn't that turn, but you did next turn.
Well, what happened was it got to the point where even if you I'm way out of the camera, even if you were bouncing birds towards the end there, every bird you bounced out, I still could play land. So it was just it kind of hit that critical turn where it was like your bounce spells aren't that great.
I made a slight misplay at the end, bouncing Herald instead of Nyx. But
Yeah. That was kind of that stopped me for a turn, but depends.
I don't think it would have changed the outcome.
Yeah.
You still would have treated my guy, and I had no speed attackers or Evos to swing in. You hit my 2 shields, and I got the 2 general Finbar, and I was like, what?
Well, that's even like against you. I didn't even want Andromeda. I just wanted Infernus.
Yeah,
I
because
feel
it
like he
stopped
kind
me
of
from
shuts.
playing most of my
I mean,
guys.
if you have 2 guys in play, then you can evolve. But other than that, I mean, what do you have to play that's not?
I had 2 hits benched at that point anyway, so I was just like in the worst scenario to deal with them.
What's I mean? You can grip it, you can bounce it, but I mean, as far as do you have any other creatures that you can slip under it?
No, I don't.
You
I only
evolve on top of?
the only thing I can do is literally play Pit or Grip, and they're sweep otherwise.
Okay, all right, makes sense.
Infernus is the biggest stop to the deck by far.
That's what I mean. Like I was just hoping for him every time.
Yeah. I was just hoping to win before he hit the board. Like that's the whole point of the deck.
Yeah, I guess it did that.
Dendrite's pretty much the MVP of the card.
He's so good.
That's
He's so much
by
better.
far the most powerful card.
Wasn't there was like a Chimera Blurple list that one of the
Yeah, I don't know
sees?
why people play the Chimera variant. Like,
And I saw
Dendrite
that
is
and I was
just
like,
so
I feel
much
like
better.
I would rather play Dendrite over Medusa.
I don't kill stuff, but I get a
Whatever
double
you
breaker,
bounce it, it's the
and
same
then
thing.
it's a 6K.
Yeah, it's a fast attack double breaker that clears the way. Why would you not play that?
Right? And I can play like the 1-cost guy and then evolve him that turn. It's just
What's I mean is as I saw that list and I was like, I feel like you're playing the wrong color.
Yeah, I think like Hydra Medusa is like really good as a card, but the thing is you have to play the Chimera baits.
The Chimera base I don't even think is that bad. It's just if Dendrite wasn't around, I think for like 5-drop Evos, because Gigastan has its merits. Crack sideways, discard a card. That's pretty relevant now. As is drawing a card off Seneschal. But out of the Evos, you're better off with.
Plus Hydra
With the
Medusa isn't
sideboards.
a double breaker like Dendrite is.
Right,
about it.
and that makes
The
the
worst.
biggest
Oh, yeah.
difference. It really does. Because I can just push in like that randomly and just set up for games next turn. Dendrite's pretty much there to buy me an extra turn and break 2 shields. I don't care if he dies after that.
Props the best, by the way.
Rob is the
Rob
best.
is the best.
It just says that.
I guessed who he was. I knew.
It's drunk.
Yeah.
Oh no, who could it have been?
Yeah.
Uh,
You got the real hard.
yeah.
Real hard.
I even moved my hoodie so you could see it. I realized it was slightly covered, and I was like, let me just casually do it.
Just stretch out a little bit. A little warm in here, guys.
Yeah, right?
I'm surprised there's no comments. It's like, Aiden, wear hair.
Yeah, I actually
it disappeared.
When you walked in, I didn't even.
Most people didn't recognize me, yeah. I was like, yeah, it's gone. I don't want it.
It wasn't until I think Mark said something. He's like, yeah, he's here. And then I looked over and I was like, that's not. And I was like, I was like, oh, he is. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it looks pretty different without it. It's crazy.
You like see now?
I mean, I just wanted my hair out of my ass, so it's just like, get rid of it.
That's what I mean. You can see your plays.
Right now, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
I can see out of my left eye for once. It's crazy.
My problem with my hair is it just gets like ridiculously curly and I get like the Jufro going on.
Yeah, I had back in high school. It wasn't as long as yours, but I had that like surfer look where it was like down to my shoulders
gotcha.
almost. It was long. And then I was dating a girl at the time, and her mom was like, "Your hair can't be longer than mine." That's a rule. If you're gonna date my daughter, that's a rule.
That's real. That's
Yeah.
real.
So, is there anything you guys want to say about the match? besides what we already said?
Oh, I want to the blurb list again real quick. I want to point out that the deck is basically, it plays like mono blue, but it plays black for removal. And Featherfin and Freakish Test Subject.
You, Corey from the pre-release, he plays a similar list. But he is playing, was it Reef Gladiator?
Reef Gladiator.
He gets
It's
around
for the mono blue.
Yeah, he gets around that too because he has Coral in it too. So just even your Bone Blades and your Terror Pit, even sometimes
Just
if you
put
can't
them in.
cast them, you can either put them under Coral or you can discard them to Trader.
I used to
Can't
play
play 'em.
Koro, but I eventually cut the card just because I'd rather play a dude that'll get me more cards
Yeah.
than play him.
Again, Coral's one of the cards, like, in theory it seems really good. Like, even in like a bottle list, like, you put your bottle in your shield. It's like,
I love doing
how
that.
awesome is that? But I feel like a lot of times it ends up actually, in practice, it's kind of lackluster. Because you're never quite there. A lot of
I mean,
times.
it is a turn 3 Cyberlord, but there's just better turn 3
Exactly, yeah. You
Cyberlords
can play
and
Seneschal or
Freakish
Test
Test
Subject.
Subject.
He's so good.
That guy's great, Slayer and unblockable.
Oh, so good.
He just eats Haven decks.
Yeah. What do? You can't crack back.
Yeah, or your guy dies. So
Yeah.
Oh, hey Haven, let me just ram you with this tiny little thing here.
That's why I think I was thinking playing your because it's in the meta right now. I think it's positioned very well. I think it's positioned really, really well. Just because I think it's pretty good against Dragon. I think it's really good against Haven.
It's really good against Haven. That's its strongest matchup.
Yeah, I don't know what's bad, like Mono Fire Rush, like Mono Light Rush.
Rush decks can be a problem. Mono Light not so much because I'm normally a turn ahead of them because I
Okay.
can bounce their stuff.
Oh,
But
yeah,
Mono
yeah,
Red, like red variants can be a problem because they have fast attack guys, so they're a turn ahead of me.
Yeah.
So I pretty much can't just swing at them wildly. I have to prepare my kills. I pretty much kill their guys, hope I had a turn 3 Neuron,
Yeah.
eventually try and go for game with Dendrite.
I think the new Esper lists too that are out. I think I think you're actually better off in that matchup just because you're more dedicated. To
Yeah, I'm a
tempo
little
deck.
bit faster. Though if I hit bottle and they swing out a bomb, I lose.
Yeah,
But
that
I
is.
mean,
I would
kind of
imagine
happens
that's kinda
anyway,
rough.
though.
Yeah.
Alright, well, thanks guys for coming and talking and coming and playing. Hope to see you guys in more feature matches or in Top Cut later.
Sounds good. Oh, drop return. Do that.
They're just signing, the consent form so that they can be on camera. Alright, looks like we're all set to go. So we've got Anthony Dignati on the left and Joshua Cruz on the right. Josh happened to come to our Shattered Alliances set release also, though he didn't manage to make the top cut. Looks like Anthony got to go first and plays probably the strongest turn 1 play ever of Blaze Belcher. That's definitely going to be a problem for any deck, as Blaze Belcher is going to already be swinging in at shields next turn. Ooh, and it looks like he's playing Fire Water Rush. So there he goes, Blaze Belcher's already hitting a shield. Ooh, looks like that guy's gone. Yes, it looks like Anthony's playing Fire Water Rush, whereas Joshua is playing a very interesting control list. Similar to what I was playing, actually, not too long ago. It's a Herald, it's kind of a Herald deck. It's not like a blocker deck version, it's like a control version with Havens in it. So it looks like Burnclaw and Bronca are on board now, though Josh does have a defense in Aqua Strider now. Josh keeps smiling for the camera. And he already lost a Haven to mana, which is a little unfortunate, but at this point in the game, I don't think it will probably matter. Not until he gets up to 10 mana will it matter if he's losing those or not. Plus, he still has 2 more in deck. He does play all 3. Looks like Drakon Weaponsmith, or Laser Arm Drakon, I'm sorry, swung at that Aqua Strider, killing it, and Burnclaw went in for another shield. So Josh is really in a pickle. Looks like he's bottling, hoping to get something like an Eternal Haven off of it. If he does, he definitely will have a better shot during this game. Shuffled up, and it's a Terror Pit. Not all too bad, as Laser Arm Drakon is now gone. So he won't be. So Anthony will not be able to win this turn. Leaving Joshua now with 1 shield as the Burnclaw attacks yet another shield. Looks like Josh hasn't drawn many or any of his mana ramp cards, which would have been good to have early game. And he plays another Terror Pit, so that's good, as long as Anthony can't summon 2 fast attackers, which won't be likely, as he can only go up to 5 mana this turn. I think the cheapest fast attacker would be Jet Thrust Darter, and then I'm not sure. Yeah, well, that would be 3. I don't know if he plays any of that. Let me see. He does not. So it looks like his fast attackers are just the Evos. Yeah. He does play one Blast Forge Captain, which I find is a little interesting. Not a lot of people like Blast Forge Captain. But it is interesting as it can banish creatures up to power of 4,000 or less. So you could banish like 2 guys that are 2,000 or whatnot. Looks like Anthony's got a Rusalka on board. And Josh is doing another hopeful bottle. I saw him talking into the camera. He's like, yeah, we're gonna bottle this. Looks like he gets yet another terror pit. Not the worst thing he could have gotten. And he also gets a lemon. So Josh is definitely getting up in mana. Soon he will most likely have enough mana to summon Eternal Haven if he has it in hand. Looks like Josh separates his mana by color. Everybody likes to do their mana differently. Anthony just has them all in a row in the bottom. Josh has them stacked by color. Oh, and it looks like Anthony has a Blaze Belcher, which next turn will most likely be attacking right into that lemon and dying. But it's probably his best play at the current moment. Oh, and it looks like it died to a Toxic Fog. And now he has a Flame Vent Diver. I like Flame Vent Diver. He's got a good amount of power for his level. It's nice to see a straight fire water rush deck. I haven't seen too many of them. Oh, looks like Josh is playing Gigahorn Charger, which allows him to search his deck for a creature with power 5,000 or more. Now, since it says it has to be a creature 5,000 or more, he will have to show it to his opponent what it is. And he does. It's Andromeda of the Citadel. He also Piercing Judgments. So he bounces and taps. Kills with the lemon. Looks like that's a General Finbar from Anthony. Bouncing that lemon back to hand. Leaving Josh currently defenseless on field. He plays that Andromeda, gets 2 more shields. Andromeda is a very good defensive card, as it gives him 2 more shields, and every time his opponent attacks him, he does have to tap one of his untapped creatures as well. Ooh, looks like he plays Kivu and 2 other blockers. Looks like Josh finally got to the late game he needed. Anthony plays Blast Forge Captain, as I was talking about before, so he can banish any number of creatures as long as their power total is 4,000 or less. So right now he can banish one of the 2 small blockers that Josh has, either the Full Metal Lemon or the Aqua Strider. So it's like he banishes one and then the other blocks. Then it appears that Anthony scooped. Josh is still talking into the camera. He doesn't realize that we can't hear him. Trevor, can you confirm who won the feature match, game 1? So it looks like nothing too interesting has been happening so far round 2. Though he does have a Cyber Scamp and a Jet Thrust starter on Anthony's side now, so he's finally able to attack with the Scamp as it no longer has Summoning Sickness, leaving Josh with one less shield. Looks like Josh now unlocks Darkness with Devouring Smog, and then plays Toxic Fog, which banishes that Cyber Scamp. Though Cyber Scamp's ability now triggers and just summons another one out from deck. Looks like there's a Blaze Belcher now. Joshua's like, oh boy, now I'm going to be picking up shields. Yep, so Cyber Scamp goes in first, and then Jet, Flame Vent Diver. So Josh is now only at 2 shields. Ooh, and that's unfortunate. He can't play a blocker, he has to play Reap and Sow to draw into more options, which then gives Anthony yet another Cyber Scamp. He had both in deck. So he's definitely hoping for some good shields. Blaze Belcher goes in first, gets Bone Blades. I just heard him say Bottle of Wishes real loud too. Yep, so Josh is getting Bottle of Wishes off in shields. He yells very loudly, Bottle of Wishes! Variance is indeed good. Let's see if he does get something good off a bottle or not. And he does! Eternal Haven! Oh, that definitely is a good thing. So now he gets the chance to draw a card and then play a blocker down from his hand. Does he have another blocker? He might have more than one. It's a little hard to tell what's in his hand. I think he's thinking about it. He does have a fairly large hand, so he probably has a blocker to play. See, it looks like there's a Lyra, Deep Mind Probe, I think a Storm Spark Blast in there somewhere. I think that's a Crystal Memory. Oh, he's showing his hand to me. Oh boy. Looks like there was no blocker for Josh to play in his hand, and Anthony decided not to attack with his Flame Vent Diver, as it would just die to the Eternal Haven. Josh puts Deep Mind Probe into mana and casts Crystal Memory, searching his deck for any card and adding it to his hand. He does not have to confirm what Crystal Memory is, as it can be any card. Looks like he's attacking with Eternal Haven. So he draws, he plays Twilight Archon, which it looks like he had another one in hand too. So that locks down the Flame Vent Diver from attacking and allows him to be able to block with that Twilight Archon, but it was able to be bounced back to hand, giving Anthony the win for game 2. So that Bottle of Wishes Josh played did allow him to last a little longer, but unfortunately, not long enough. So we will soon be going on to Game 3. If you guys watching have any questions, you may tweet at Kerwin Game Store, or you may message on the twitch.tv stream. If you are just joining us, this is Game 3, about to start, of Round 3. Joshua Cruz versus Anthony Dignati. First round was Jonah Acosta versus Sam, I can't remember his last name. I think it's Mick something. I'm bad with names. And then last round was Zach Murphy versus Aiden Thorne. Alright, so it looks like Game 3 is about to start. There's our head judge in the background of Anthony's face cam, Trevor Sprague. He is one of our 3 judges and our head judge for today. So far, he's only been called for a couple rulings. A lot of the players here definitely know how all our card interactions work in this game. As most cards do, just do what the cards say. It's mostly from card interactions is where the confusion comes in, as two or more cards are interacting with each other. What appears, Blaze Belcher went in as shield, and it was a Deep Mind Probe. A card that I definitely like, especially in a deck like Josh's, where he can set up his hand for an Eternal Haven play. He could attack with Eternal Haven and draw that blocker that he set up with Deep Mind Probe. It also sets his hand up for certain plays too. So let's say you're at 10 mana or 9 mana, and then your opponent attacks and you have Deep Mind Probe. Top 3 cards is Twilight Archon, Eternal Haven, and something else. You put that something else on bottom, Twilight Archon on top, and put the Haven in hand. You then put a mana down, you tap your 10 for Eternal Haven, you draw the Twilight Archon and play it. Other options would be Logo Scan, as that is also turn 3 card, but you can draw 2 off of it instead of really just getting the 1. But I prefer personally Deep Mind Probe as it is a Shield Blast as well. Alright, looks like Burn Claw was summoned and attacks into a Shield Blast of Toxic Fog, killing the Blaze Belcher. And since that Burn Claw was put into play this turn, it does have Summoning Sickness. If Anthony had attacked with Blaze Belcher first into that shield, he would have been able to get 1 extra shield break in, as the Bronco would still be able to, or no, the Burn Claw would be able to attack. Although he didn't know that that Toxic Fog was in shields. Josh does now play Piercing Judgment, bouncing the Burn Claw, tapping the Bronca. Looks like a Bronca goes into mana, and 2 Flame Vent Divers are attacked, or are summoned. He attacks a shield with the Bronca, doesn't get any shield blasts. Definitely good for Anthony, as he doesn't want to see very many shield blasts on Josh's side. But now Josh has a full Metal Lemon, which will be able to block some attacks. Meaning he will not lose next turn. Josh just yelled, "It's getting real." Looks like Anthony's thinking. Yep, he puts a Blaze Belcher into mana, taps 4 for Rusalka, bouncing the Lemon, attacking in, and going for game. So that is the match. Anthony won with Fire Water Rush against a Haven control deck. I'd say that was a pretty good match. He was playing things like Emperor Neuron in his deck as well, but we didn't really see any of those, which would have been very helpful against Eternal Havens. Josh just yelled, "All the scamps!" I think those were Anthony's shields. Oh, and there goes the face cam. That's alright. Looks like someone fixed it up. All right, so we're back here with Josh Cruz, who just unfortunately lost that match, but
It's pretty salty about it. Pretty salty, not really.
didn't realize the camera couldn't hear him.
Shout out to plenty to everyone who can't hear it. My favorite part of when I played Game 2, I bottled an Eternal Haven, had the Archon to play, still lost.
Yeah, that was a shame. He did have a lot of creatures just everywhere.
Yep, it's unfortunate, Rusalka. I want to take this time, Bottle of Wishes, completely fair and balanced card for a fair and balanced children's game. It's a good game, good card. Rush is never a good fun matchup against Turbo Haven, especially when you see 0 mana ramp. Did I even have any? I didn't think I had any ramp any of the games.
I think you got one
Reap and Sow,
Reap and
maybe?
Sow,
Yeah,
but
that
it was
one.
way too late. He had
Wild
already broken
Striding
like all
into
your-
nowhere. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I was actually testing around almost the exact same deck list as yours before, and it's just like the Wild Strider wasn't really doing anything.
Can't do it. It's green mana though. It's good stuff.
It is.
I cut Tritonus down from 3 to 1, add 2 memories, 2 Gigahorns to try to pick up. I like Devouring Smog because in the mirror match kills the Haven. And then Finbar's Dreadnought. Oh, hi Wyvern, you're going to banish my stuff? I'm going to give it all back next turn.
Yeah.
Make everything a Wave Lancer.
Yeah, so you didn't get many of those mana ramp cards, which is definitely the best part of the deck, just so you can get to Haven really fast.
I originally had Tendril Grasp in here, now I Tendril Grasp my Lemons and Shredders back to my Mana Zone. And
Yeah, I put Tendril Grasp in my version because it's like its main thing is against Rush and against birds. So you can get rid of all those problems, and then even if you're getting rid of your own blockers, you're mana ramping.
Yep, you're ramping yourself up. And your Lemon's going to become a mana anyway, so you might as well just banish it with the Grasp,
Yeah.
which is always a good time. I actually had a Toxic Fog work. That's a once-in-a-lifetime situation.
Toxic Fog to kill those pesky...
Got rid of a Blaze Belcher and an Assault one once.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I like how you play a Gigahorn Charger, too.
Yep, searches for anything I need. If I have a Haven drop, or I got a Haven off a bottle, I know I can have an Archon for the following turn, and Archon is huge. Originally had Blade Barrier with Archon, since whenever you play a spell, if there's a tapped creature, and you choose the order of effects, Blade Barrier taps the creature, you kill it with Archon. It's a 3-cost Terra Pit, which is quite effective. Sadly, Archon is a normal common missile problem, which is sad, because he's not hexproof, but oh well, can't have everything. I don't have any other special situations. I played 2 Twilight Archon. Don't let people talk you out of that. It's a great card. Lots of fun. It's cool. He looks badass too. That's really important.
I personally play 3, but I play a heavy blocker line instead of just some blockers and some control. I
Do you play Panopter?
Yeah.
Panopter
I
control.
play
Totally different what I'm doing.
Panopters.
Yeah. You run green too?
Yeah.
Wow. What's the multi-sub count?
It's actually pretty low, I think.
This guy. Just telling my stories of the time at the Sea Shack where I bought pretzels, eating taffy, eating movie theater popcorn.
That's real.
Yeah. Hands so salty.
This thing's cool. How many viewers you got now?
We have 7 viewers at this moment.
Oh yeah, that's
What is
almost
it?
a huge increase.
Guest starring Aiden Thorne in the corner from Draw for Turn.
Yeah. Get a shot.
Plug Draw for Turn, DFT! Yeah.
Been getting it.
What people do.
Oh, that guy. Here's Mr. Muscles, who
What's
beat him
good?
down.
Yeah.
Gave him the nice striking.
The
He's like,
spankings.
alright, that was my show now.
Having a tough time sitting in this chair after that spanking.
Yeah.
A little painful.
A little painful.
Spanking, it does hurt.
Do not have Keeper of Laws in this list. Kind of feel like a chump. Thought I added 1 Skull Shatter. Nope, totally forgot. That was real. Found that out at the counter this morning as I was writing my deck list. Yeah.
So you wish you had that?
Keeper of Laws would have been nice. There's some turn 4 moves.
He does some stuff.
Yeah. He does some stuff. My mini havens, I mean.
He eats little dudes and he draws cards.
I like when lemons eat Keeper of Laws because then I get my mana and they die.
Yeah, I like
Such a shame.
And yeah, yours was closer, right? So you can actually come in. So much I like it too.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
So is there anything you think like went wrong with the match, or?
Absolutely, I lost. Did you not see that? And they couldn't hear me. I said so many great things. You watched me play to the camera at least a dozen times.
Yeah.
I was like, ah, it was awesome.
Wait, there's no sound from the Pichu thing?
Couldn't hear
No.
anything I was saying.
Oh.
I gave 3 individual shout-outs to each one of my cats. That's real.
Yeah. You're going in.
On camera.
Man, shout out.
His cats.
And my brother sitting at home playing games. Everybody's enjoying their Pokemon X and Y, I hope, because that's the real reason we should be doing this today. In between rounds, that's what I'm playing.
The store's kind of running out of them though.
Sadly.
I didn't get my copies yet.
Why have you not gotten those
I
yet?
mean, if we,
I don't have money.
Oh, that's sad. If I come in first today, I'm buying Nick a Pokemon X or Y for him. That's real. Hold me to it.
I actually gotta be upstairs.
But with my
That's
loss,
special.
it's not real.
That's all right. You could.
I'll get there.
I think it might be possible to go like X2 and top maybe.
Definitely, yeah.
I'm not entirely sure,
Because if
but
you lose later on, tiebreaker's really.
And hey, if worst comes to worst, I beat Jonah Acosta today, and he did pretty damn well in my KMC in Connecticut. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel accomplished by that.
we feature matched him get round 1 and he won.
He has a fantastic deck. Heretic Prince is the bane of existence if you don't have Mesmerize in your Haven deck. I suggest putting in at least 2 Mesmerize just to deal with that guy. Cause I got a lucky Root Trap off, or Root Trap stopped it, but also don't let people talk you out of Root Trap. Root Trap, they're all Root Trap Kurgar gets the flip. Don't matter at all. You need to have that. It's a get rid of it, anything, and make it there. Oh, but Kivu can bring it back. Oh yeah, let them cast that Kivu. Let them waste that mana. It's not happening. Sometimes I have gotten to 17 mana though, where I'll Kivu Free Monarch. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
that's just something that Haven's allowed to do.
That doesn't happen too much. I've only done that in like 1 or 2 games playtesting my Haven deck.
It's definitely a good time when you can do it though. Sometimes I purposely wait if I have enough control going on to make it happen, but not all the time. We have a delay on here?
Yeah, 2-minute delay.
That's pretty incredible.
What's that mean?
Just in case like somebody does something ultra terrible and we have to cut the stream.
It's definitely good. You want to have that repercussion put in place. Also want to give a shout out to Kerwin's Game Store. Best place I've ever played cards in my entire life. Been playing cards since I was 10 years old. Super professional, super friendly staff. Had a great time here every time I've been here. Can't wait to come back again, and I'm still here right now. That's real.
Yeah, it is a pretty nice place.
Give me swag. I'm just kidding. Those maps upstairs playing on, those were super nice though.
Yeah.
They're way official. Don't crap like the KMC maps they hand out.
Yeah,
They're
pretty
nice.
nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet looking too.
I think Steve, the store owner, is looking for where we have our champion mats. But
Yeah, he said
whoever
he has
wins,
champion maps for tonight.
Yeah, I really would like one.
Yeah, me too. I'll take one.
It'd be very nice to get a champion man. It'd be cool.
Very fun.
But come
yeah, Aiden happens to have a champion mat of ours.
Oh yeah, from that
Yeah.
time that he won that tournament
on. Oh
here.
yeah. That's cool.
That set premiere we had.
Yeah, set premiere.
Pretty
where
excited for the
he
set
smashed
premiere
us.
for Invasion Earth. Was it November 9th?
Yeah,
Come
we'll
on,
be
dude.
having another big tournament like that too. So
Get the set premiere promos, get those new protectors. Whoo, protector's gonna change the game.
protectors are going to be nice.
Comes my red-green deck back again. You don't think Wizards is telling us something with Sabretooth, Bronze Arm Sabretooth? We're going to hand these out at every KMC and then make Protector a real thing. Don't make a Beastkin Enforcer deck, though. And definitely don't make a red-green deck, because that could be awesome. The November Duel Day promo is a Beastkin Enforcer for
Yeah.
Evolution for
It's,
free.
it's like, it's sword horned, but an evolution
Yep.
and has effects.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. That's great.
You can evolve him on Swordhorn and be like, oh, I evolved a Beastkin or an Enforcer. Which one should I choose? I don't know. It's the same
Exactly.
card.
You have Thunderbolt, you have that guy, you have Swordhorn, you're playing a yellow and green deck. It's just great.
All right, so,
So we are heading out here.
yep. So it looks like the next round is about to start. So we'll be back in a minute.
Victory. Have a good day.
Man.
Alright, well while they're shuffling up, on the left is, yet again, Anthony Dignaughty with his Fire Water Rush list, as we saw last round. And on the right is Mark Maltese of Draw for Turn. His locals happens to be the place that is hosting the New York Kaijudo Master Challenge. His deck is a dragon deck with a couple interesting techs. It looks like he has 2 jump jets and 3 cyber scamps, but otherwise it looks like it's a standard American dragons list. And he's got 2 Crimson Wyverns in. He did cut 2 Infernus the Awakened, so there's only 1 in there. 2 Heretic Prince Baraka. The standard 3 bottles, 3 Andromeda. And he's got 2 Stormstar Glass instead of 3. He's also got the 3 Keeper of Laws just to stand up to control decks, draw more cards, get the consistency and stuff. I do have a little bit of a funny story though. During the first set of Kaijudo Master Challenges, Mark and I both attended the New York Kaijudo Master Challenge, and we both didn't do as well as we would have liked. I ended up getting 35th place, and he got 36th. So when I saw him at the last Kaijudo Master Challenge in Connecticut, I told him that I had to defend my title being exactly 1 place better than him. Unfortunately, I did even worse, and I didn't end up defending that title, which is alright. Things happen. I ended up getting paired against the eventual 2nd place and the eventual 3rd place in rounds 2 and 4. So I would have liked to have played against them, during after Top Cut, but things happen. Looks like they're still shuffling up their decks, about ready to start. If you are just joining us, my name is Nick Reyes, also known as the Ninja Nick 333 on YouTube, and this is Kerwin's Game Store's $1,000 Kaijudo tournament. First place receives $400 cash. Second place gets $200. Third and fourth each get $100, and 5th through 8th place each get $50 cash each. It is a top 8 cut after 5 rounds. This is round 4. So I believe these 2 players are currently undefeated. Looks like Mark won the die roll and went first. Put Piercing Judgment into mana. Alright, so now it's his turn 2. He plays Lux. Probably one of the best plays in the deck to be able to get the turn 2 bird off. Firebirds, of course, drop the cost of dragons to be played. So now any dragon costs 1 less mana. Anthony plays a Bronca for 2. Alright, looks like, yep, Mark has the turn 3 Nyx, which is probably, again, the best play. So Mark has perfect progression right now. Alright, looks like Anthony has played Laser Arm Drakon, broke 2 shields. Laser Arm is a pretty strong card. Mark just played another Nyx, so it's not looking too good for him, as that Laser Arm will be able to double break yet again next turn. Mark does not play any blockers in his deck, so he will have to rely on getting quickly to an Andromeda. Looks like Anthony plays turn 4 Rusalka, bouncing back a Nyx, and double breaking the 2 outer shields of Mark's. And again, no shield blasts. That's not too good for him. Though it looks like he may have a bottle of wishes in his hand, which might be the best play to do this next turn. Looks like he puts a Crimson Wyvern into mana. He won't really need that, as he's not playing against a Haven deck. And he plays General Skycrusher. Allows him to banish a creature power 3,000 or less. So that Rusalka is now gone. It also gives his other creatures a powerful attack boost. And then he, since it is a dragon, he gets to draw for next. And then he just passes turn. Looks like Anthony's carefully deciding what he wants to play. Mark is in a better position right now, because if Anthony does attack with that Laser Arm Drakon, it can be killed by General Skycrusher. So he puts Emperor Neuron down in mana and plays another Rusalka, bouncing that Skycrusher. Breaking the last shield, which again is not a shield blast. like Mark finally casts that bottle of wishes. He's probably hoping for something like Andromeda. He gets Piercing Judgment. So it looks like all he can do is bounce the Laser Arm Drakon and tap the Rusalka, which Anthony can just replay next turn. And since it is an evolution creature, it will not have Summoning Sickness, giving Anthony the game. So that is 1 win Anthony, 0 wins Mark. They were about to start game 2 now. So I'll take this time again while they're shuffling up. Looks like Mark Maltese, just like Jonah Acosta, is playing Drillstorm in his deck. We haven't seen Drillstorm yet, but it could potentially make a difference in one of these matches. And I see that Anthony is playing 1 Ice Blade, which is a bit interesting. Not a lot of people play Ice Blade. It's a 2-cost Shield Blast that bounces a level 4 or less creature back to the hand. Alright, looks like they're starting up. Anthony will go first since he lost. Or no, he won, so Mark will be going first. What am I talking about? Mark just puts Keeper of Laws into mana. It won't be too much of a good card in this matchup, since Anthony won't be playing too many spells. It's more for against control decks. There is no sideboard in this game, so you do have to prepare for every matchup in your main deck, as it is the only deck. Hence why also last game you saw him put a Crimson Wyvern into mana. He definitely didn't need that against Anthony, as Anthony plays no blockers. Robbie Muffin says, "Go Muscles. Heck yeah, Kaijudo live stream." Yes, we will be trying to stream all of our larger Kaijudo tournaments from now on, starting with this one. So if you do like this live stream, tell us. If you don't like it, tell us why, what we can do better. Because we are definitely trying to do as many live streams as often as possible. He also says Ninja Nick for the win. Thank you. Although I'm not playing, I'm just commentating. So I'm not, you could say I'm going undefeated, but that's because I'm not playing. Yes, for those of you who don't know, my name is Nick Race, also known as the Ninja Nick. 333 on YouTube. So you can always check out my videos. I don't get to upload nearly as much as I would like, as I split between quite a few different games, but I'm definitely going to be stepping up the Kaijudo to a much higher level on it. It looks like Anthony plays Burn Claw into Bronca, which is definitely great. He gets a little added field presence. Plus that Burn Claw can attack that turn, breaking one of Mark's shields, which again isn't a shield blast. I don't think we've seen a single shield blast from Mark. He might have had one. I can't quite remember. Robbie Muffin also says the stream is perfect. Well, thank you. If you guys do have any improvements that you think that we can make on the stream, please let us know. Looks like he finally hit a shield blast of Storm Spark Blast. So now all of Anthony's creatures are tapped, which might give Mark a little bit of a way to come back. He does attack with a Lux into that Rusalka, which is good. So now Mark has 3 shields for Anthony's 3 attackers. And Anthony will want to be careful with what he attacks with. As it is possible that he could hit shield blasts, or Mark will attack over any of his creatures with that Herald of Infernus and drop something very large. And I think I do see an Andromeda in Mark's hand if I am correct. So that would be very devastating to let your guy die to a Herald. So if you like our stream, please go post about it in Kaijudo Dojo. Go tell any of your friends who play Kaijudo. Tell us any improvements we can make. It looks like Anthony did decide to attack into all of Mark's shields. Mark again did not get any shield blasts. So far it's only been the one Storm Spark Blast. So, looks like Herald is attacking with a powerful attack to kill that, I think the Burn Claw or something? I can't quite see. There's the glare on the discard pile. Or Emperor Neuron, that's it. So, Mark was able to play Andromeda of the Citadel off of that. Andromeda is definitely a very powerful card, as it gives you 2 shields from the top of your deck face down. So you can get up past 5 shields. You could have infinite shields as long as you had an infinitely large deck, I would assume. But then Andromeda's other ability, the Awe Strike, makes it every time Anthony wants to attack, he also has to attack one of his untapped creatures. Although that ability only applies if he's attacking Mark's shields or directly. If he went to attack creatures, he would not have to tap anything for Andromeda's All Strike. Looks like he decided not to attack, and Mark plays Piercing Judgment. So he's allowed to return 1 card to hand and tap another. Which will be great if he has another large dragon in hand for Herald to kill that Burn Claw. And he plays a Lyra, which taps down the Bronca, which he's able to kill with the General Sky Crusher. And now he actually starts attacking in for shields with Andromeda and the Firebirds. And he decides to leave the one bird untapped. I assume because he has 2 double breakers on field currently, so he can just double break the last 2 shields and then have more than enough attackers for game. Alright, looks like Anthony scooping that game, so now it's 1-1 with Mark winning that game. Overall, I think that all of these games so far have been very good matches. None of them have been too one-sided, and I think all of the games have gone to Game 3 so far. At least the ones that we're live streaming. Alright, looks like Game 3 is starting up now. Oh, and Anthony gets to play the turn 1 Blaze Belcher. And he puts Comet Missile into mana, as he doesn't need Comet Missile in this matchup. Mark plays 0 blockers in deck. And looks like he's attacking in with that Blaze Belcher. Mark does not get a Shield Blast. Mark has his perfect progression of playing the turn 2 Lux. Hopefully he'll have a turn 3 Nyx. Looks like Mark decided to play Cyber Scam turn 3, which might end up being good if Anthony does end up playing any spells on him, as Mark will be able to play more Cyber Scams and swarm the field with tiny little attackers that can break shields. Mark also attacks with the Lux over the Blaze Belcher, so that stops breaking shields now. Like Anthony is still thinking about what he wants to do. Or no, Mark is thinking now. I think he just... Oh no, he played a Blaze Belcher in past turn. That, he had one before, but it died. Mark's deciding to do what I refer to as bird aggro, which is where you just start attacking with birds. I've only won one game against Aiden Thorne before. Not even a whole match, just one game. And we were playing Water Dark Light Control Mirror. This was before Clash of the Duel Masters came out. And they were both bird control decks. So I was just bird aggroing him with Lux, Nyx, and Umbra. And I happened to win. He got like no shield blasts. It was unfortunate for him. But it was a funny day. It was just like for like the next week, it was like, oh the birds, they're too powerful. Robbie Muffin's like, ooh, the nuts, go muscles, cyber scamping birds, dirty, filthy technicals. Yeah, I think cyber scamp might actually be a very good addition to Dragons, as it is another kind of anti-control card. So if you play the 3 Keeper of Laws and 3 cyber scamps, your opponent's not going to want to play any spells. They're not the greatest in this matchup, however. Looks like Anthony decided to summon out a Burn Claw, which brings a Bronca from his deck into play. And he attacks with the Burn Claw into a shield. Bronca has Summoning Sickness, so he can't attack, but the Blaze Belcher says it must attack. So he's hitting a shield, and it looks like it may just be a Shield Blast. Mark's deciding how he wants to use it exactly right now. I'm not even sure what it is yet. The suspense. Looks like a Piercing Judgment from Mark in his shields. That was a pretty good thing to get. Puts that Burn Claw back in Anthony's hand, so he'll have to resummon both the creature beneath it and that again. Oh, and Mark plays Drill Storm, so Anthony's going to have to read that now, as he doesn't know what it does. Basically just going to wipe Anthony's board. I believe it's banish 1 creature of your opponents with 3,000 or less power, and then all creatures with 1,000 or less power of your opponents. It is a very interesting and honestly cool card to be playing. I wouldn't have thought of it. But both he and Jonah have decided to play it today. So it's pretty interesting. I guess great minds think alike. Anthony plays Laser Arm Drakon and double breaks the last 2 of Mark's shields. So if Mark doesn't have an answer for this Laser Arm Drakon right now, it'll look like he'll lose. Oh, and he plays Herald of Infernus and Jump Jets it. So not only does he get to kill that laser on Drakon, but he also gets to play Andromeda and get 2 more shields. That was a really good play on Mark's part.
Oh my god, jump jets. Did you just see that?
That was a really amazing play.
I love it.
I just saw the second he played the Herald of Infernus down, I'm like, oh my god, he has jump jets in Andromeda, doesn't he? And he did.
I know, and I'm sitting, I walk over to the match, and I'm like, let's see what happens. I hide behind Trevor, and I'm like, I don't want to be on camera, I just want to see what's going on. And up he's like, Herald of Infernus, and I'm like, I know he's dead on board. Jump jets. Yes! Card of the weekend.
Yeah. Definitely looks like it's going to become a very interesting and played card from now on, as it just showed its power. Jump jets on Herald. And with Firebirds out, you could still play 5 or even less for Herald and the jump jets overall. Looks like Anthony's still thinking about a play to do. Are we in time yet? It looks as though a lot of the matches have finished, as I see a lot of background people. But though we may be in time. So I'm just having the judge confirm if we have time or not. Just in case. Looks like there's still 15 minutes left in the round. It's just a lot of players have finished early. All the players upstairs can talk about right now is just how clutch Jump Jets really is as a card. I'm definitely going to have to test out Dragon variants with that in it, for sure. Definitely makes Herald of Infernus such a great card. Even better than it ever was before. I believe that Jump Jets came out in Clash of the Duel Masters, yet not a lot of people are playing it until Shattered Alliances, which is interesting. I think a lot of people just brushed it off as like a -1 in hand advantage to play it. So, but it is definitely interesting to give a creature fast attack. Looks like Anthony's board is now clear, giving Mark the go-ahead to just break a whole bunch of shields. And this might just be the game, with that Jump Jets play really putting Mark over the edge. Looks like Anthony puts another card down into mana. I'm not entirely sure how he can play out of this current situation. It may be possible though. he plays a Cyber Sprite and a Rusalka. And passes turn. So he does have one blocker, but that's about it. Looks like Mark gets the game. All because of jump jets. Good card is good. Alright, we will be back soon with the post-game interview. Alright, so we're back here with Mark and